Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 65 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Not Too Complicated, where today you might recognize some stuff. Maybe. You might recognize some stuff, and you might see some new stuff. Last episode we got Ultimate Ingots crafting, which is pretty awesome. And then we got Ultimate Blocks crafting, and then we got it to the point where we now have a nice and relatively automated way to make Ultimate Blocks, which are needed for some of the endgame stuff that we're going to get into. Probably a lot of it if we look at the math. Because if we take a look at endgame, we'll note that things like the Creative Energy Cube require the final star. This does nothing, it exists to show off. That's going to require 8 16x power flowers, which each require quite a few shards, right? So in order to accomplish this, we're going to need a lot of ultimate blocks in order to do that crafting. Okay, so with that said, I have started making more ultimate blocks and basically found that my bottleneck for production, which is, you know, when you get to this point in a mod pack, that's what you start worrying about, is your production bottlenecks, right? Things that take longer than anything else to craft. In this case, the production bottleneck was, no surprise, we kind of knew this, our fusion reactor combiner thingies. So what I'm doing, as you can see now, is expanding that setup. Boom. Sweet. And then we should be good to do this. And then we should be good to do... Now, I already did one, as you can probably tell. But we're just expanding it further. Cool. Boom. Online. Nice. Cool. So I've got my 2 tick accelerators here for these two, and these 2 tick accelerators exist over here still for these two. And then the plan is very simply going to be, I need to move this actually a little bit, because you need to disconnect, then you need to go on there. And then the memory card, which I think I'm almost certain still connects to the proper device configuration profile, but we're going to find out. So if we run over here, this guy should come up to 25 channels. Does that sound about right to everybody? I think so. 23 of 32? Yeah, I think we're good here. Yep, I think we're cool. That was the right connection. Cool. And then what I'm going to have here is basically the barrel at this level. And we're going to reset up pretty much like we did last episode. So I did one of these off camera, and then I decided I wanted a third one. So I'm doing that one on camera. And this is the pattern that we do. So you, and I would like you here. Should bring us online and give us 3 more channels. Now I can cut down on channels here, and I'll show you why in a sec. We definitely want all these on blocking mode, so don't forget blocking mode. That's an important step. And then pipes like this, with these guys disconnected, these guys extracting, and this one extracting, and then you go here, and then you go here, and then you go here, and that is a functional fusion chamber. Now what I'm going to do is something like this. I'm going to remove you and put you in here. And then remove you, put these guys in here. And then I'd like to leave that as is. I'm going to remove you and put you guys in here, because this is the one I actually cleared out to do this set of 3. Cool. Now, why do I feel like I'm short something here? So I guess you're not needed no more? So you've got that many, you've got that many, you've got 1, 2, 3 full, and you've got 1, 2, and empty. So what if we split this guy in half? I feel like that's a good plan. So I am going to, in fact, put you back. Make sure you're in blocking mode. I'm going to take... Well, we should do it in thirds, right? We should do 3, 3, and 3. So that what we wind up having is almost full, and 3. Full, full, and 3. Full, full, and 3. And that should be pretty good. So now, what we've effectively done is tripled the speed at which we can craft things. Because generally speaking, all of our ultimate blocks require a bunch of fusion to happen. So by splitting the fusion like this, we've just made it so that it can more easily, more quickly happen. We basically tripled the speed. So let's try ultimate block again. And what we should find is a lot faster crafting happening right now, because things like mercury are going to be at the same time as livermorium, at the same time as erbium, right? So these 3 chemicals are all being processed at the same time because load balancing. And that's awesome, right? So this guy's crafting, and this guy's crafting, and this guy's crafting. Rather than 1 at a time, we have 3 at a time. And that's just going to make the infinity block crafting that much faster. And I think that's cool, right? Yeah, I like this, actually. We're, like, killing it. I love it. I love it how much we're killing it. It's pretty quick. I might have interrupted one to make it go, because that seems way too fast. I'm surprised at how fast that turned out to be. That can't be right. That was too fast. That was still too fast. Let's do another one. I think I had one going and then I canceled it. So yeah, this is more what I would have expected. This many crafts. Because look how many ingots we have to make. It's a little bananas if you think about it. It's a lot. So what we got, right, is the antinum crafting. That's going to be good for me. So now that we've got all that cooking, right, let's start working towards our first ultimate dude. So let's do some maths here, and we're going to do it courtesy of Applied Energistics, right? So ultimately, what we need is going to be one of these, okay? So let's start prepping for the crafting of this thing. So you're going to be here. Now, I'm pretty sure my Mark 16s, did we go that high or no? We did actually go up to Mark 15, but we didn't do that for the antimatter relays. So we're gonna have to do that whole tier, but that's not a big deal. So you're gonna be this, and you're just gonna be one of these, okay? And then in addition to that, we're gonna want EMC links, which we might have to teach the whole progression of, and then we're gonna want some of you guys, okay? So if I drop these in here, then we'll see what we're missing. And I don't think it's going to be that bad, but it might not be a little bit. It'll probably be a little bit bad. There we go. Final power flower. So that we need the Mark 15 relays and on down. We need more final star shards. And the EMC link and on down. Okay, not a problem. So what we do now is we're going to do 15 and on down. So let me do the crafting for this, because I have to do like the whole, it's going to be a bunch of just hitting this and then this and then this, and you get the idea. So I'll be back in a minute. Cool. All right, so let's try that thing now. If we wanted to do the final power flower, the things we are missing include a healthy amount of crystal shards, which I needed to automate today, remember? We are missing final star shards. I should teach you how to make that recipe. Lightning charges, we're going to have to figure that one out. I think we can do some mob spawning stuff. Soul sand, I should probably also figure out a better solution to soul sand. And then electromessence, huh? So soul sand... lightning charges. What's up with electromessence? That's what I'd like to know. Is it still making the electrum over there? Is that why we're low on electromessence? Probably because you're still making electrum dudes. Could that be the problem? Yep, that's the problem. We are currently sitting at, well, 2 stacks of electromessences, so that's cool. Yeah, we're getting there. I might wind up, is Electrum in the fast one? Yeah, Electrum crops. Okay, that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Everything's cool. Yeah, we're good. You know what I'm going to do? Let's just be patient about that one. I might even tick accelerate it a little bit, but we'll see. Anyway, let's do this next. So now we're just waiting on a little bit of Electrum. What about the lightning charges, right? Because that, I thought we had some lightning doohickeys over here. Lightning charges come from that. Gunpowder, blitz, and coal. Do you not know how to make those? Because you should know how to make those. What's up with lightning charges? Did we just have a bunch? I guess you don't know how to make them? So you do know how to make blitz powder, and the other two have EMC. And this comes from blitz motes, of which we have a decent amount. We could probably make more from setting up the mob farm, right? So we'll call that a day, right? So final power flower, is that enough blitz now? Yeah, so we have to do crystal shards, the final starcraft, and soul sand, right? And then waiting on Electrum. So let's teach you the final starcraft real quick, because that's easy enough to do, and you can do that now. Okay, and then we're gonna wait for some Electrum to happen. I'll probably, as soon as that thing starts backstuffing, we're gonna have more Electrum than we know what to do with, so we'll be fine. And then Soul Sand, I'll probably do this one. I think we just need to do Fire Essence and Nether Essence. Do we have Fire Essence already? We do. So we need Nether Essence. So I'm gonna just put that on the to-do list, and then we'll make seeds for it off camera. Cool? And that should be mostly everything. So let's come back in a few when we're ready for that. All right, folks, we are back. And now I'm going to try to make the final power flower, and we're going to see what kind of stuff we're missing. So because we have other things, now we're missing new things. We're missing a handful of elements, which I'm going to go through and figure out how to make. I haven't done the soul sand bit yet, but I will shortly. A handful of elements and crystal shards. So let's do crystal shards and soul sand on camera, because that's going to be, well, I mean, soul sand's not going to be that exciting, but crystal shards is going to have to be different, because remember, crystal shards, there's a new recipe for it. It used to be just breaking down with the squeezer or pulverizer the aurora crystals. Now, well, we could still do that, but like this is not automatable. Now there's a pulse centrifuge recipe that turns 1 crystal shard into 2. And Applied Energistics usually does not appreciate this. This kind of recipe very much confuses automation systems because just not expecting that, right? So my favorite monsters are here to say hi, Direwolf, to me. So let's set that up right now, because that'll be the interesting one. And I should get the Nether Essence stuff real fast. Let me take care of that super quick. Only because that's just going to be a hassle anyway. Bricks. Okay, cool. Give me like 10 more of these, please. Perfect. Nether agglomerate, and I think that's a tier 2. Is that right? Am I right about that? Yeah, so Prudentium. And then the seeds. Cool. Perfect. So now we've got that set up, and I don't think I need this dude no more. There we go. Perfect. And let's stick you... Let's put you in the normal pots. Well, you know what I could do is one of these guys. Is my Mark IVs done here? I made extra Mark IVs like many episodes ago, and I never did anything about it. I should probably get them going. So, reminder... is that the way this stuff is set up, these guys all route into the main area, right? This row and actually a few on the back row, which I did a really bad job of organizing. But these 3 all go into this guy, right? So these all can go in here. So I'm going to throw the nether agglomerate in here. And then I can throw this guy in there, and then we'll be good with nether essence, right? Wow, we have got 10 stacks of it already? 11 stacks of it already? Oh my goodness, that's bananas. So let's do this. I'm going to put you away. I'm going to put you away for sure, because that's a lot of those blocks that are expensive to make. Let's now look at the pulse centrifuge. Which we can make most of this with. Okay, maybe not. I lied. So Lazier 82 is all this stuff. Okay, so if I want like 10 of these, what do I not have? Fluix plated iron? How do we get that? An inscriber recipe. Really? I don't have this one set up? That surprises me, actually. I thought I would have. Do we have an inscriber? We have a molecular assembler. Where's my Lazier 82 guys? One of these should be a pulse centrifuge. It should be the circuit etcher is what can do it. Oh, so any one of these guys? No, any one of these guys. So let's just put it in this circuit etcher. Does that sound fair? I think so. Cool. Now I can get like 11 of this. We are missing carbonic fluix dust. Didn't I set all this up at one point? Or is this in the list of things that got messed up? This might be the list of things that got messed up from Lazier 82. Yeah, I could see that being a thing that happened. So, Fluix aggregator recipe. That can go in there. Cool. And then start. And then I assume you're doing something relatively smart. Actually, we could have skipped that with the Fluix aggregator and gotten there directly, but I think it's fine. Now, if I want a pulse centrifuge, was that it? That'll get me most things, but I want you and you back into the crafting system. So you look like a normal craft, and we know how to make all those things, so that's good. And then you will be a circuit etcher for this. And I'm wondering if I'm going to have to teach you how to make all these things again. But we'll find out. I think we will, because if we look at Lazier 82, yeah, definitely going to have to do that. So let's do this. And let's do this. And this. And that. And that. And that. And then finally, this is a Fluix aggregator with matter balls. Okay. So the Fluix aggregator gets the matter ball recipe. This guy down here gets most of these, except this goes into the inscriber, right? Everything else goes into here, including this guy. And then, is it circuit etcher? Is that what it's called in the... Yes, circuit etcher. So that's where I'm going to put this one in this guy. Doesn't super matter, right? So now I should be cool for my pulse centrifuge. Make it, make it, make it. Do the thing. Not bad. Not bad at all. In theory. You're stuck somewhere. I did something wrong. Let me play with it. Actually, no. He looks like he's crafting, so we're good. Yep, there we go. Resolved. Nice. Cool. All right, now the crafting is complete. We can say pulse centrifuge for real this time. Or not. Okay. I'm going to do this off camera now. There we go. Crystal growth accelerator. What I'm going to do is stick this down here. Now, how's my channel situation going on? If we looked at this guy, you're sitting around 31 of 32 channels. I've got room for one more channel, and that might not be sufficient for us. This guy comes from where? Actually, he comes from all the way around here, which comes from... Boy, is my channel system a mess. That might be capped out too. 32. Yep. Yes, sirree. It is. I could convert some of this to P2P to make it a little bit more efficient. channel-wise, and probably should. But we will get there in a minute. Because remember, we have more of this stuff available to us now, right? We have more things here that we can do. You're sitting at 29. So I could, you know what, I'm going to put this here. I like that idea. All right, so here's the deal. We're going to set up crystal shards, okay, like so. If I were to get a drawer, a regular drawer, and we're going to need 2 channels for this, but it won't be too bad. Okay, and I also want some acceleration cards for you, which luckily I happen to have exactly enough. All right, we're going to get an export bus and a storage bus. Okay, and we're going to storage bus on you, and we're going to export bus on you. You're going to be, you know, priority 10,000 like we've been doing with everything else, or 9,000, whatever. Let's get this guy locked. Let's insert my crystal shards, of which we have a handful, but not a ton. But now they're all in there. Now when we connect this guy with channels, which shouldn't be a problem because we've got 29 here available, we're going to tap into 2 more to bring me up to 31. Okay, now my crystal shards should pop into the AE system once the network updates. There they are, 446. And then one of these crystal shards, now if I put this back in here, 445, that should be what we have in here, right? 382. You are supposed to be a higher priority. See, this is why you're weird. So 446. $446. Thank you. All right, export bus U with some acceleration cards. And your sidedness will be this, that, and that. So look, now the AE system is just going to constantly shove crystal shards into here. And it's going to dupe them and stick them in the chest to the left. Okay? Now eventually, or not the chest, but the barrel, right? Now eventually this barrel will overfill. Once it overfills, it's not importing into the system, so it won't hit our drives. What will happen is this barrel will back stuff, the pulse centrifuge will back stuff, and then the crystal shards will just sit here. And every time I take crystal shards out of the drawer, they will shift from here into the drawer, and more will be made. And that is crystal shard automation, which I think is pretty cool. All right, so with this set up now, and the nether agglomerate for the soul sand, which we should, by the way, teach how to make. That would just be this. Thank you. Now I need to figure out my other missing dudes. So if I came in here and I said I wanted the final star, remember that this is what I'm trying to make. We're missing niobium. We're good on lutetium now, are we? Okay. Vanadium. A few more crystal shards. Niobium and vanadium, that's it? Okay, I'll take that. We're good on tungsten? Really? Okay, cool. I'll take it. I'm good. I'm good. Guess we'll see what happens. So where do these guys come from? Niobium comes from... Did I not have a niobium recipe? I guess not. Neodymium, but not niobium. Got it. So many things. Getting there, though. So niobium, I'm going to say your best bet would probably be this guy, because it has EMC. And then we're going to want to add barrel to the handle the extractor bit, right? Yeah, so let's do that as the recipe. That's going to make its way into the chemical dissolver. And then we also want vanadium, which is going to be emeralds, is probably your best bet, I think. Yeah, emeralds. Surprised I didn't already have that one in there, but I think I might have just dumped emeralds in. Okay, cool. So now if I wanted... Let's get a few more... Well, let's just do this. The final power flower. We're close. Now what are we missing? The crystal shards? And is that it? That might be it, folks. That might be all we're missing. Now, this is going to be a big craft, I think, as we all know. So let's break it down into manageable chunks, because I basically just don't want this AE system running forever, especially if something goes funky, right? So what I'm going to do is, we know the final power flower needs 6 final relay Mark 16s, right? So we're going to do 6 of these. Now this guy's, that's what the crystal shards are needed for. So let's do this. Let's do final compressed collector. Let's make 1 of these. Okay. So that's going to be ready to go. That's a bunch of things need to be made, right? Including some more collectors. We know that this thing can sometimes get stuck, so hopefully it won't. Other than that, it doesn't look all that bad. So let's hit start and see what happens. Look at it all go. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. So we know this guy's probably cooking. Yep. We know this guy might be making stuff. Everything is running in a very nice way. So what it's making right now is effectively 9 Mark 1 energy collectors that will be upgraded eventually to 9 Mark 16 final collectors, which is 1.25 trillion EMC per second. We're making 9 of these. And we're compressing them into the final compressed energy collector, which is basically 1 of these. Then we will make 1 of these as well. We'll basically make another one, and then that'll be cool. So, hey, not too shabby. Let's let processing happen. It'll probably take a minute, because I know we definitely have some things in here, which is not the fastest, and a few other things. So, back in a sec when it's go time. I'm going to kick off another ultimate block, by the way, or maybe even, like, 5 of them, just to kind of get them running in parallel. Because I don't think we overlap any machines with these two. And that'll help me test my new automation, right? With the whole barrel and stuff. Yeah, buddy. That'll be cool. Alright, good deal. So, back to just kind of waiting for crafting to happen. There's not a whole lot more to do at this point in terms of automation. I just need to kind of, like, let this run. But the good news is, you know, tripling these will make this a lot faster. I'm excited about that. Alright, folks, I think we're in the home stretch here. The thing we're really waiting on is this. But once that's done, and I just tick accelerated it, we should be cool. I wish I could view the crafting stats remotely. That would be so cool. There might be a wireless crafting monitor. I actually never checked, but doesn't matter because we're wrapping up. Zoinks! We're done. Now, the fusion crafting is still cooking, which is fine. That's totally fine. That I expected to take longer. But if we look at the final compressed energy collector, this is a bananas amount of EMC, in case you were wondering. In case you were wondering. And remember, we can convert this back and forth, so there's no harm in... Oh, look at that, quest complete. Nice. So what was that? End game? Is it probably in the equivalent exchange section? Yeah, buddy. Yeah. And now we want to make the final compressed to complete the quest. Sweet. We're getting there, folks. It's bananas. The final Mark relay will be next. In fact, what would be involved in making the final relay? If I want 1 of them. Do we have the stuff for that without too much fusion happening? I'm pretty close, actually. Pretty close. Let's do it, right? Why not? Yeah, let's make 1 of those. We don't need the compressed one. We just need 1 Mark relay. Because remember, the recipe for the star is 6 relays and 2 compressed collectors. Because realistically, it needs 18 collectors and 6 relays to make a power flower, right? So that's what it's accomplishing by doing that. So that ain't bad. So this shouldn't be too long of a craft, I don't think. This should only take a minute or 2, but we'll be back when it's ready. All right, I think the craft just finished. Yes, it did. Final Mark relay. That's exciting. I'm going to remove these guys. And you know what I'm going to do? Well, maybe not. Yeah, we don't really have that many more shards. But I'm going to put them away so that they can be used for the next batch. Fair? Okay. And now if we wanted to, I could absolutely plop this guy here and do this levels of banana. can't keep up. That's brilliant. It's got an ultimate pipe upgrade and it can't keep up. It's making it too fast. Is it the importer that can't keep up? It might be the importer that can't keep up. Where even is that? I don't even know. I don't even know. But the fading matter, it can't keep up. Where even is the Ender Chest importer? There it is. What do you got on you? Oh my goodness. We're gonna need more acceleration cards. Actually, just make me like a bunch of them. Well, it doesn't matter. Importer. Give me more acceleration cards. We might need multiple importers over here. How are we for channels, by the way? 31 of 32, so hopefully one more channel is going to be enough, is all I'll say about that. And this could be accelerated. Are you just not handling it? I don't think he's handling it. So, okay, here's what I'm going to do. You ready? Instead of this, I'm going to put an interface here, which should be online because he's touching the drive. Okay. And this. And this. That's better. That should handle it. So how? Wow, he can't even keep up. He can't even keep up. That is amazing. That is bananas. Is there something like worth more EMC that I can produce here? Because this is 261 billion, right? 261 billion. What about that white fuel stuff? 34.36 billion. No, that's definitely more. What did we not have a lot of? What did we have a lot of, but not that much of? We have 50 million fading matter, and then everything else beyond fading matter looks to be not EMCable, like silicon, right? So even Magnum Star Omegas are less EMC than fading matter. That is too funny. That is too funny. Even the Magnum Star Omega. What about the Colossal Star? That's 422 trillion. Yeah, Colossal Star sounds good to me. Colossal Star Omega? Let's target them. You ready? That's going to be our new target. I like that. We're making like 2 of these a second. We're making like 1 to 2 of these per second. That is bananas. And just as a note, I could easily set up another one of these right now. It would take me moments to get 6 more final collectors and like properly, you know, make a real power flower. But for now, we're just enjoying the ridiculous numbers that we've approached. Right? We're just enjoying this a little bit. 4 quintillion. And it's enough production that we're going to see this number move in real time. Almost a little bit, maybe. But not that much. All right. I got to wrap up the episode here because we're getting to the end point. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make more of these ultimate storage blocks, right? So the ultimate dudes. Between episodes. When we come back next episode, we should be pretty close to being able to make our first power flower. But then we need 8 of these in total. Plus, this ultimate singularity is nothing. No big deal. But we do need 8 of these in total, right? So we're going to see how realistic it's going to be to craft all these. Realistically speaking, it's probably going to be a bit of a pain to craft these. I might set up something like I did with this dude. Just to get lots of ultimate ingots. And then if we run into we ran out of a specific resource, we're going to have to maybe make slight tweaks and additions to this thing, which is fine, except, you know, we probably just need some tweaks and additions, that's all. But for now, wrapping up point, I'll sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will come back next time to have more fun. For now, take it easy.